Donald Trump's first day was all about shock and awe. He shook things up at home. On the second day, the focus shifted to diplomacy. Trump's Secretary of State was sworn in yesterday. His name is Marco Rubio. And his first official engagement, a Quad meeting. Rubio met with foreign ministers from India, Japan and Australia. It was a signal of Donald Trump's priorities. He clearly wants to focus on the Indo-Pacific. And within that, India tops the list. Because after the Quad came the bilateral talks. Rubio's first meeting was with India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S Jaishankar. Now, this is a break from tradition. Incoming secretaries usually meet US allies, maybe a NATO partner country, or a neighbor like Canada, or a treaty ally like Japan. India is none of that. Yet Rubio picked Jaishankar for his first meeting. Again, it's a signal of priorities. We saw that during the inauguration as well. Minister Jaishankar was seated in the front row, right in front of Donald Trump. The foreign ministers of Australia and Japan were seated a couple of rows back. But Jaishankar was at the front. He was sitting beside the president of Ecuador, a head of state. So clearly, the new US president is making an effort. He is reaching out to New Delhi, which brings us to the talks. What did Jaishankar and Rubio talk about? Jaishankar said that regional and global issues were discussed in the meeting. He also noted that Rubio is an advocate for closer ties with India. The US statement was more detailed. The statement about the meeting, it called for more cooperation in specific areas like emerging technologies, defense, energy, and the Indo-Pacific. Rubio also flagged an issue of concern with Jaishankar, that of irregular migration. A lot of Indians have been trying to illegally enter the US. Since 2020, around 170,000 have been caught. Indians are the largest group of illegal migrants outside the Western Hemisphere. So Trump wants to work on that and looks like India is open to it. Reports say New Delhi is planning to take back 18,000 illegal migrants. The first step is to identify and verify them. After that, they can be deported. And it's clearly a calculated move. Because India's priority is not illegal migration. India's priority is skilled legal migration, namely the H-1b visas. These are temporary work visas issued by the US. American tech companies use a lot of them. And Indians are the top beneficiaries. In 2023, Indians made up 75% of all H-1b visas. All visas that were issued by the US, 75% went to Indians. India wants to continue this practice and, if possible, maybe even expand it. But the Trump camp is split. His hardcore MAGA supporters do not like the H-1b visa. They say it replaces American workers, which is another way of saying that they are racist. But Trump himself seems open to it. He has repeatedly supported the H-1b visas. He says America needs skilled foreign workers. And yesterday, he reiterated that position.
I like both sides of the argument, but I also like very competent people coming into our country, even if that involves them training and helping other people that may not have the qualifications they do. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high-quality waiters. You got to get the best people. Now, then you go into people like Larry, and he needs engineers, and Masa needs, and this gentleman needs engineers like nobody's ever needed engineers, right? So we have to have the quality people coming in.
He says, why just engineers? Bring in skilled waiters and wine experts too. Either way, the broader point is clear. Trump likes H-1b visas. But the problem does not end here. Trump has cancelled birthright citizenship in the US, meaning children born in the US will not automatically become US citizens. And this could affect visa holders. Say there's an Indian couple working in the United States. They're not American citizens, but they're waiting for their green cards. If they have a child in the US, that child won't be a US citizen. You can see why it's a problem. Right now, more than 1 million Indians are in line for green cards. Their children may be denied citizenship. Thankfully, this move has been challenged in court. 22 US states have filed a lawsuit. They want Trump's decision to be overturned. And there's a fair chance it will be. The good news is Trump is not shutting off his partners. He is engaging with them, and he clearly prioritizes his ties with India. The key is to work on on the few irritants. Illegal migration, for example, is a low-stakes issue for India, but it plays well for Donald Trump at home. So New Delhi has made a wise choice by helping out. But other issues will be more challenging, like de-dollarization. Trump has warned countries against ditching the US dollar. He specifically threatened the BRICS nations. That too with 100% tariffs. Another issue is China. India is looking to reset relations with Beijing. It is also seeking Chinese investment, but Donald Trump may not like that. In fact, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is a China hawk. And that is why he was picked in the first place, to be aggressive on China. All of this makes the next few years very important. Trump only understands the language of give and take, and India will also have to speak it.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.